How's it going, everybody? So, I just bought my very first 3D printer, and it is not even brand new. So, right in front of you, next to me, is the Bambu Labs P1S 3D printer. So, the reason I bought the P1S after they just released the news about the P2S is mainly because of the price and also the price per dollar performance. And the reason it is not new is because I was looking at 3D printers, entry-level ones or the mid-range ones, and I stumbled upon MicroCenter, and they are selling Bambu products quite a lot. Right now, the Bambu P1S is on sale because of the Thanksgiving deals that they're giving out for like an entire 2 months. This one is right now, end of October 2025, is selling for $399 brand new for a P1S. Now this is an insanely good price because this printer, when it just came out, it was selling with the whole kit and everything over $700 to $800. So $399 brand new at this moment. Refurbished version from MicroCenter, I bought this for $339. Okay, Core XY printer, fully enclosured, and this is refurbished directly from Bambu Labs. So Bambu Labs actually shipped this printer as is to MicroCenter. So the MicroCenter got this printer, posted a note on the top that says, "Dear customer, this is directly refurbished from Bambu Labs." And with those refurbished printers, there's a 90-day warranty, so 3 months of warranty. And you have 15 days to return if something does go wrong. If something does go wrong and you don't like the printer for any reason, you can return it 15 days to MicroCenter. So what do I get to lose? Nothing. I spent $339. I bought this printer together with just one PLA filament. That's what they're selling at MicroCenter, the Inland brand, for like $9.99. So $10 for a whole kilo of PLA filament. And with that, I also bought 2 accessories for the P1S, okay? The filament buffer right here, and the 4-pin connector for the AMS2 Pro. And the reason I bought those 2 is because besides this really great deal that I bought, a couple of days ago, I was actually on Bambu Labs website and I pulled my trigger and I bought a H2D with the AMS and AMS HT setup. So that combo is gonna come soon, but I figured this is my very first 3D printer and I have no 3D printing experience, but from what I heard, Bambu Labs is the best way to go for novice users. I bought H2D. I want to get a P1S to complement H2D. So hopefully in the future, it will be mostly printing on P1S for smaller projects and only using the H2D for larger projects or projects that's going to require extensive support. Printing with both PLA and a supporting material, or PETJ with a supporting material, or TPU with a supporting material. Because of the advantage of the 2 extruders, the 2 hot ends working together, that feature is going to be quite easily implemented with minimal amount of waste on the H2D. But with that said, let's open up this printer and see what are we going to expect from a refurbished printer from Bambu Labs, okay? So I am hoping that directly after this unboxing, I would be able to actually start printing immediately within this unboxing session. All right. So again, I told you the price. This is with the P1S on sale and the refurbished version of the P1S. So $339, which is again insanely good price for a Bambu Labs mid-range product. Okay. And here we go, opening up the box. And it does look like almost a brand new printer. Okay, so Included calibration model was printed on the printer using factory default setting. It almost looks like a brand new printer with all the packaging, all the, let me show you guys really quick. So this is a refurbished model, guys, okay? But it looks brand new with all kinds of materials haven't been, opened by the user or haven't been opened by MicroCenter, at least. So I'm feeling kind of lucky that it came this way. Let me actually put this on the floor so I can take it out. And it's insanely well packaged, like the brand new unit came out of the factory, okay? Look at the amount of air bubbles. And the printer itself, not terribly heavy, okay? Manageable weight. Now I would definitely want to keep the box just in case later on, if something goes wrong or if this needs to be resold, the box would definitely help with shipping process, okay? Everything's in the box. The manual can be found directly online. All right, so that's what it says. But we do have a quick start being put at the top. Again, looks brand new. Looks like nobody has ever opened the quick start guide. I'm going to save all the materials. Definitely want to read the quick start if this is your first printer, right? First 3D printer. Now, just the backstory, I did some research on 3D printing. It looks like the technology over the years has advanced quite a lot, and all thanks to Bambu for making 3D printing as easy as possible for the beginners. And I can kind of feel that. This looks like a premium printer. So let's get started. I got a whole bunch of stickers from the Quick Start Guide, kind of fun. And even the get started is like a scanning, like you scan to get started, I guess. Let's see what we need to do from the Quick Start. Oh yeah, also, by the way, it looks like everything inside looks just like how it came out as a brand new unit. Okay, the box, accessory box is included, and it doesn't look like it's being opened, so that's really great. And let's actually pull the top cover off so we can take the top cover open as well. And look at that, all sealed. This is glass, okay? So, of course, take the top off, pull the accessory box out. Now, all right, here we go. The accessory box is opened, okay? Supposedly it's sealed, and it's gonna come with a few accessories. Let's see if there's any accessory missing. Hopefully not. But the printer, in terms of the actual condition of the printer, show you guys. It looks pretty new. Some small dust from the packaging material. The foam is right here with desiccant. And another foam. Yeah, this printer like literally looks brand new. And of course, additional accessories and stuff. That looks like a piano model. I think that comes with every P1S, okay? So, and a carbon rail. Okay, printing plate is right here. How do I take this off? Okay. So this is the printing plate. It does look ever so slightly used, okay? There were some marks on the plate. It will be interesting to find out the hours ran on this printer. But overall, guys, the print head slightly dusty. Okay, and yeah, I mean it's a minimally used printer that looks like that. I don't know what else I need to do to set it up, because I'm assuming that it is already being pre-set up, but just to be safe, I am going to go through the quick start guide and have it set up. But there are a lot of setup videos available for this printer, so I'm not going to bore you guys. I am going to go ahead and get everything set up so it's ready to power up. Okay. All right, guys, so I actually just finished with setting up the Bambu P1S initially. And again, keep in mind, this is a refurbished unit that came directly from Bambu Labs to MicroCenter. Now this little thing that I showed you, this is what the MicroCenter technician did. They took this printer out, they set it up, they printed this, and then they packed it and I bought it. Okay, so basically this is the print that came out from this printer to prove that this printer is 100% functioning. Now the setup for me is rather easy because there were a few steps described in the quick start guide of unlocking the Z-axis, which it seems like the Z-axis has already been unlocked from the previous use. I don't think I have to do anything else. I connected the monitor, and the next step is actually just for me to turn on the power and see what happens. All right, so the printer, the Bambu Handy App is able to find the printer, and now I'm gonna give the printer a name and we can continue with the calibration or whatever. Check the status. Okay. So for the next step, showing you guys in the app, it's going to do a bed leveling, 6 to 8 minutes, vibration compensation test, 5 minutes, and motor noise cancellation, which is pretty cool. I think it's trying to compensate for the noise by generating some sort of anti-noise frequency waves to make this printer quieter. I believe this is a new firmware update. Out of the original Bambu P1S, it doesn't have this function, but they added it. The printer now is quieter, which is great. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the calibration steps. And again, now I haven't even downloaded, oh, it's on, cool. Let me close the light. Let's take a look, see how so that light, guys, it's really dark. I believe there are upgradable light options that is able to actually make this brighter. So that's definitely an option. I'm gonna open up the window. And another thing I think many people complain is that this window only opens partially, where on the H2D and H2S, it opens fully, and also on the, I believe, X1 Carbon. So as you can see, the bed is rising. So they definitely removed that 3 locking screws. And to me personally, the printer is actually pretty quiet at this stage, okay? And again, just to show you guys on the phone, this is probably going to take a good 30 minutes. So we're gonna come back once the calibration step is done. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the light. It does look like everything is automatic. I don't have to do much. It's gonna make its magic to make my first time user experience as good as it can, okay? And I just saw the print head move for the very first time. Very exciting. Again, for someone who has never used a 3D printer before, this is really cool stuff, okay? the fan kicked in on the print head. And also, some other mechanism is running inside. Oh, it's extruding stuff. It's like pooping. Little tiny amount of materials, and it actually throw it out from behind, which is probably just dropping onto my floor. I can pick it up later. But I can see some of the previous extrusion came out. Again, we're gonna wait until it completely finishes. When I close the cover, it definitely got quite a lot quieter. Okay, so it's very quiet. But when you open it, you can hear the print head fan that is running. Kind of loud. Step one is clean the nozzle tip, which it's actively doing. All right, guys, so the setup of the printer is actually surprisingly easy. It's almost too easy to my first time user experience. I mean, even though it's a refurbished model, that automatic initial calibration and setup function is extremely useful. And all I had to do, okay, I'm gonna show you guys. So all I have to do after the initial calibration is to clean the used nozzle a little bit, because that nozzle, when it first came to me, had a whole bunch of different colors. All mashed up together, and it was not clean. So basically what I did is I used the provided tool, the little long screwdriver. I opened up the cover, I took 2 screws out, I took the disconnect of the cables, take the hot end out, which looks exactly like this. This is a spare, by the way, brand new, with the fan attached. And all I had to do is just clean up some of the gunk where it was stuck at the side of the nozzle, and that's all I had to do. Now the printer is ready. I turn it off, I turn it back on. It still tells me it's ready to go. The only thing that hasn't been completed is the noise canceling function, or the noise attenuation function. That function is going to take a while, but regardless, I'm going to go ahead and actually show you guys what I'm going to print. Okay, so really cool. Okay, so I just went here, I look for I found a really interesting figure, okay, which is a Pikachu Benchy. I'm gonna print it out, and all I had to do is select my printer, select the print profile, which is a single color, and select my plate, and I'm gonna hit next and see what happens. So shows my printer, okay, shows the plate that I'm using, shows the color. I'm gonna use my external color, which is not a Bambu color-coded one, so I have to manually choose an external selection. And you get 3D preview, which is pretty cool, okay? In the app, you can see what the Benchy looks like. And again, kind of cute. And again, this is gonna be my very first print, and you can see how easy it is for everybody to start printing. I'm gonna confirm. Okay. And I'm gonna hit just 1 copy, or I could make 2. So if I make 2, I believe there's gonna be 2 showing up. Nope, not really. But I think it's gonna print 2 on the sand plate. Okay. And which is cool. And again, I just need 1, so I'm gonna print 1. And this is a brand new spool of PLA in red color. And I enable time lapse, and I'm going to enable bed leveling, and I'm going to hit start. Let's see what happens. So basically, it's sending this to the printer remotely without me even having to go onto my computer and do anything. It's going to do its pre-processing, it looks like. Shows me my temperature of the print head, temperature of the bed, the printing speed, which is at 100 standard. You can customize the speed You can go into sports mode, silent mode. It's going to be quieter probably. Ludicrous mode, like the Tesla. It's probably going to be super fast, I guess. But this is all I had to do. And see if the camera's working. All right, the camera is also working. You can see a preview right here. And I'm going to turn it off because I don't really need it. I had the time-lapse function enabled. So hopefully it's going to show me what it looks like after it finishes. And tells me the time to complete is about an hour, a little more than an hour. So we're going to come back and check it out once it's done its job by itself. And I'll tell you guys what I think about the first experience using the Bambu Labs P1S immediately after unboxing on a used model. Okay, so see you guys in a little bit. All right, I am just so excited. My very first print seems to be going well by itself automatically. And wow, this definitely changes my view for 3D printing. My limited knowledge with 3D printing is probably still limited to quite a long time ago, where you have to assemble your 3D printer and configuration and the setup and using of the open source, a lot of debugging. This completely different. Just a couple clicks, you can see the printing started. And what's also really cool is I was concerned that the nozzle is going to be dirty or whatever. The cool thing is it prints the first strip over here just as a prelude, and then it goes back to print beautifully. So again, I am thoroughly impressed with this used model of the P1S. I also went and washed the printing plate completely because the plate was kind of dirty. So I just used lukewarm water with some dishwashing detergent, wiped it, used a brush to brush it, and made it really clean. So it looks like this is the most important part to make a good print. And probably it also doesn't matter what kind of printer you get, as the most important part, again, is to make sure your printing bed is clean, you have everything configured properly, and you should expect most printers nowadays on the market to be working as expected. Now, of course, Bambu, for some reason, because they started out this revolution to make 3D printing easy for everybody, has a better reputation in terms of the machine being ready to use out of the box. And my video proves just that. It's so easy to use. Even on this used model, I don't have to do much. It did most of the job itself. And it's already printing, and I can see the base shape, which is, again, exciting, right? And because this is PLA, relatively low risk, so you don't have to worry too much about it drying out, but I do have a dry box coming up. So those will be storaged once the printing completes. And yeah, and so far I haven't smelled anything weird, which is also a good part with printing PLA. Other materials, I don't know. We'll have to use it more to give you guys a more comprehensive review of this printer. But initial impression, very, very impressed. All right, so we're gonna have it finished printing. It gives me an estimate. We have about 50 minutes left. We're gonna come back and check. And over here, it also tells me the current print head temperature, the current bed temperature. The print head right now is at 220 degrees. And the bed temperature is right now at 55 degrees heated up. Looking at the generic PLA specification, the nozzle temperature should be at 190 to 230, and bed temperature should be at 45 to 60. So we are well within the range of just that. Everything's so easy. I'm impressed. Can't wait to see the finished results. Now, for someone who has never owned a 3D printer, such as myself, like people were complaining about this printer being kind of slow compared to other like higher end models. And again, I think for $300, $330, you couldn't get anything better than the Bambu P1S. Okay, it's just it's so cool looking at it printing. Okay, and I'm gonna try to show you guys a little bit of the action. Again, the chamber is heated up, so it's pretty hot, and look at how fast it works. And again, I believe this is called Core XY. I don't know what is the exact definition of the technology, but supposedly that is the best movement technology for the print head currently there is, okay, in terms of print quality. And yeah, so absolutely no complaint. Again, it's just works right out of the box as advertised. So yes, MicroCenter refurbished P1S on sale for $339 is absolutely the best printer you can buy at this price range, bar none. Okay, all the accessories, almost all the accessories were included. Again, I bought some extra, and it doesn't even look like I need the PDF E2 because the PDF E2 was already installed, which is good. All I did was buying a new $9.99 spool of PLA, and it starts to print. Again, wow, I'm just blown away by how easy it is to use, how well it works out of the box, and also the noise level, which according to the online reviews, people say it's loud, but again, it's entirely acceptable. So I'm curious to find out what the H2D noise level is going to be once it arrives. We'll definitely compare both, and I will put those printers to work because I have a big project. I'm gonna try to show you guys what I want to do with the printer. I have a Nikon F100, and again, the battery for this film camera has been discontinued, and the resale price of a used battery holder, battery cage for the F100 is $120. Okay, insane, just to get a battery holder. So what I want to do is go find a comparable model, remake the battery cage, and revive this Nikon F100. If it works well, then I'm gonna think about reselling my remade battery cage at a price that is affordable and reasonable instead of $120, right? So that's gonna be my next big project. And also household stuffs that, you know, the possibility, it looks like with a 3D printer is endless. And this one has a rather big printing area, you know, 256 by 256 by 256. So it is almost the entire length of this, length, width, and height of this plate, which is a pretty big printing area, okay? So again, with the P1S, it already can do so much. I'm thinking my H2D is gonna be, for the most part, just being sitting there, unless I could figure out a big project for the H2D to print at once. So maybe a one-piece model that's large, and even for small piece models, I could use P1S if it can be disassembled and reassembled. So again, really excited, and just want to do some extra talk for you guys that are making decision on which printer to get. And so far, I think P1S is gonna be enough for 90% of the folks. And for that 10%, the only reason you probably want to get the H2D is one, for commercial reasons, and second, for that slightly larger print area. All right, not terribly bad. I was able to just slightly pushing it and everything came off. And again, it's gonna be really tricky removing that little support. But wow, my very first 3D printed model. Not bad. And this is the Pikachu Benchy. So a little bit out of ordinary, but again, kind of fun. And looking at the print quality, I think overall it is very, very, very good. I'm not gonna complain as a first print, okay? And also that little extra strip has been just kind of easily removed. So yeah, absolutely excited about the opportunity that the P1S is going to be providing. And it also proved that a refurbished Bambu Lab product from MicroCenter is good. It's legit, and it saved me a lot of money. So for that, I would personally recommend, if you find a refurb model from MicroCenter, buy it, come home, test it, and if it's not good, return it. You have 15 days to return for no reasons asked. And if it's good, this is definitely your keeper. Okay. Also, the refurb model comes with a full 1-year warranty. Get that, which is, you know, double good for less money. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. Obviously, follow the channel as I go on with the journey of the 3D printing, my brand new hobby. Also follow for the review of the H2D that's gonna come, arrive to my door in probably a week or so. I am really excited. All right, so thanks again guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. All right guys, so this is the third day of me owning the Bambu Lab P1S as a first-time 3D printer owner, and also the first 3D printer that I bought as used. The refurbished P1S model over the last 3 days has worked well over 15 hours now. So it's pretty much working non-stop. The moment I can put it into work, the moment I get a model ready, it is working. And how did it work? Well, it only failed to print 2 times, and those 2 times is because of me not setting up the print properly by setting up a print at an angle and not using proper supports. And that's only 2 times it failed. The other times it printed flawlessly for the most part. And I want to make my conclusion video over here. So you guys, as a very first time 3D printer owner, would know and understand what to expect when you spend less than $400 buying a fantastic printer. Okay, so let me flip my camera. I'm going to show you guys. Look at that. Those are what's being printed out of the Bambu Labs P1S using just 1 spool of PLA that I bought together with the printer. And I've used about half of the PLA during the last 3 days. So if you are well into this hobby, you will be buying a lot of materials. Okay, here we go. These are my prototypes. This is the reason that I bought the 3D printer, because I needed a camera adapter, the battery holder for my Nikon F100. So what I wanted when I bought the 3D printer is to be able to print this. And I was able to print this, and I'm still prototyping because it needs a little adjustment and I need to get my settings correct so it can be printed rather nicely and fit nicely. But just look at the quality of this base plate. It's fantastic, and this is PLA. So if I'm printing my final product, it's going to be either PETG or another hardened plastic. Not going to be PLA, but this is great for prototyping. Other things I've printed are models that I downloaded directly on Bambu's MakerWorld website. And this is my first benchy. It's a Pikachu benchy that I showed you guys in the previous video. And as I explained, the bridging is one concern with any 3D printers. You need to get the bridging setup correct to work, for it to work better for your printer. And in my case, the bridging needs to be set at 1.5 instead of the default 1 value. And also the speed of printing that bridge, which is any overhang stuff, that does not have any support. So that's called the bridging. It's gonna print from point A to point B without anything under there. That's usually the hardest to print. Okay, so in this case, just first print without any adjustment on the settings, it printed exceptionally well. Those are printing place little toys. I printed a whole bunch because it was Halloween, so got those ready. If the kids do come over for trick-or-treat, they could have it, but nobody showed up, so well, I'm gonna be having those little toy armies for a little while. Printing place and PLA material, fantastic. This is all without any setting adjustment, okay? Because this one doesn't need bridging, so it printed out perfectly. Again, bridging refers to the area that's under, for example, the cheek area. This one, again, it was using default bridging technique, which doesn't print out as well as properly set up bridging. This one I also downloaded as a widely available model. This is a sponge holder, some pumpkins. Those actually worked out surprisingly well for the bridging on the internal part. Okay, so I added some support, so it's not terribly bad. I kind of like this regular shiny PLA material because with proper lighting, they actually look better than the matte finish. Originally, I thought matte would probably look better, but nope, I like the shiny plastic. Here's a sleeping cat. Here is a scraper to scrape off the stuff, which I just finished printing one right here. Okay, it's ready to go. Take it out. Sometimes for larger objects, it could definitely benefit from using this scraper, which Bambu provides you with a metal blade, and you print this part and the little holder, which can be magnetic as well. Okay, so once you have this, model removal is going to be, in theory, easy, but okay, first step always. Now it's the third day. I'm rather experienced with printing those models. Once you bend it just a little bit, you should be able to just easily remove them. Okay. And let's check out the print quantity of this one. Okay, very, very good. Looking down there, it's rather interesting that it's the bridge looks really funky. Okay, yeah, I still need to refine the bridging settings. Again, this is a hit and miss, but let's see if it would actually, the block would fit itself. Hopefully it does. And it does. Look at that, perfect fit. Okay, so now it comes to my opinion on owning a 3D printer. If you just like to, get freely available models and print around, the P1S is fantastic. It might even be overkill. You could probably just do that. Download models from MakerWord and print it out of a A1, which right now is on sale with an AMS system for $370. Great value. Okay. Those are what I downloaded and printed. This from Bambu, this from other people, and this toolbox. Okay, that's a Bambu toolbox, also made by someone else. However, what I am interested in after I'm owning this printer is printing my own 3D modeled stuff. So within all those, within the last 3 days, I was able to quickly design and print this container holder for my wife. And this is designed rather quickly in a 3D modeling software called Tinkercad, which is owned by Autodesk. Okay, very, very easy to use. So any kind of basic shapes for containers, you are able to do that, and you're able to add any kind of smooth edges rather easily. You're able to add a diamond shaped mesh rather easily. And again, this one I made myself, and I made the model available for other people to download. I added interesting textures. So that's where 3D printer capability really gets expanded, is when you have the ability to model. Okay, in that case, the P1S is a great prototype machine, printing any objects within 256 by 256. And if you get better at modeling, and again, I just literally learned on the spot yesterday, and I printed this out, so it's not going to be terribly hard. As long as you get basic shapes done, square, cylinder, basic shapes. You get those shapes done, and you can model stuff just by deduction and addition, okay? This one, I learned the Fusion 360 on the spot today, and I went into Fusion 360, which is also owned by Autodesk, and printed the Lego blocks. Again, this is not downloaded somewhere else. I made the model and I printed it. And as you can see, the model actually fits perfectly, okay? So if you have a Lego project and you're missing one particular block, guess what? You can make it on your own. All those 4 blocks, put all 4 together, fitted nicely, all right? And with Fusion 360, the advantage is it's a parametric configured modeling system. Makes building models very easy, okay? If you have previous experience, great. If you don't, it's not a terribly hard software to learn. As you can see, I learned today and I printed those out today. And the beauty is you have the ability to make something really intricate. For example, this one was 3 cylinder shapes from under here and 8 cylinder shapes above. And of course, just a general square shape that's deducted, extruded. So that brings to the final conclusion of my impression of owning a P1S as a first-time 3D printer owner. Incredibly easy to use. You don't need to know how to model. You can print from stuff that other people made rather easily, especially toys, okay, and other useful stuff around the household. Containers, well, this one is available now, so if you like this, go to my MicroWord, you can download this model and print it yourself. This one, other people made, quite useful and handy, because the Bambu P1S tool comes originally in this paper box. Who wants a paper box, right? You can print a really nice pre-made box right here that fits perfect. And again, I can go in and make the same thing now the moment I get a hang of the Fusion 3D CAD software. And that's a conclusion I want to make. You know how to 3D model, you can really push this to the limit. You don't know, you can print as is, and the stuff comes out super nicely. Now, just quick plus and minus about this printer. Plus, incredibly easy to use, not terribly heavy, very easy to move around, very easy to set up. It now supports AMS Pro, so if you do need multicolor options, you can do that. Now, personally, I don't really see how multicolor is going to be useful for me. Single color, just the red, is already fine enough. But with AMS, you have the ability to dry your materials properly before printing to avoid those kind of, how do they call this, stringing option. Okay, so that's from material that's being wet. And my house humidity is around 50 to 60%. So definitely needs proper storage. Second thing, very reliable. One time I put in the plate the wrong way and it jammed. It gave me an error message immediately, so I was able to fix it rather quickly. The other times, everything is automatic. that two times where the print failed, it did not detect it because this one doesn't have the AI camera. I went upstairs and I saw that the print was being thrown around, and that's when I stopped the print. So if you need AI, more smart stuff, you might have to look elsewhere and spend more money for it. But really, it's not necessary. You can always just look in the camera and check what's going on. Okay, so again, it's just in general ease of use. Like that's a keyword: ease of use and very good print quality. Complaints, yes, definitely. Small. Okay, I turn off the light. This light is very dark. The original factory light, of course. Now this one is bright because I upgraded it. I have a video of upgrading it using the BQ LED light that I bought for like $8. Really great value. Instantly made the whole chamber much brighter. Okay, the LCD screen, it's kind of hard to use, but I mean, it works. It does basic stuff, and you can also check your printing hours by going to the third settings and physically check. So when I got this, it was at 410 hours or so. Now I printed 18 hours on this printer. So the hour is going to add up rather quick if you are hooked to 3D printing. And let me tell you, you will be, because this printer makes printing stuff so easy. Proper storage. Go buy a IP67 waterproof container. In here, I bought some more PETG materials. That's going to be some more advanced stuff that I'm going to print later on. Chamber is going to be heated up a lot more, and I have my H2D to test. So I got my PETG. I got some silica gels, silica desiccant. I bought 3 packs, which should be enough to keep everything dry and nice. And I'm going to put some in the AMS system as well. Okay, so definitely have a waterproof box to storage all your PETG material, or just your printing material, and it should keep them nice and dry. Again, this one is my test for the first run. I'm gonna probably throw it into the dry box because it already started to stream. But that's so LED you can upgrade. Initial one is weak. LCD you can upgrade. There are options, but you don't really need to because you can do everything else on the phone. So I'll let it pass. The door, as other people complained, only opens this much. Okay, very easy to be bumped over, and guess what? This is plastic, so you can probably crack this rather easily. Yeah, so those are my only nitpick for this printer, and besides that, I really couldn't find anything else to pick on because it's so good. 3 days. This is 3 days worth of work, and even some very intricate parts that I'm testing out. Okay, it's incredible. If you can find it used for less than $350 and relatively low hours, I would say even less than 500 hours, you would consider this machine new because it literally works out of the box, even as a refurbished model. Okay, this concludes this video, but I do have a lot more of the videos for the 3D printers coming out, so make sure subscribe and stay tuned as you and me going on this 3D printing journey. I will share my tips and my findings with you guys as I advance with my skills, and also hanging out and testing my P1S and very soon H2D. All right, so thanks again guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.